Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the English debate competition final round. In this room, we have our educator, Sir Hendra, Ms. Angie, and Mr. Kudraya. And we also have index team and evidence team that will be competing with each other. Before I will just announcing the motion, I will explain the time rule and will also determine which team will be the goal or opposition. For the first until the third speaker, you will get 7 minutes. And I will remind you when you have spent more than 1 minute and more than 6 minutes with a hit on a table like this. Okay. And when you have passed 7 minutes, I will give hit on the table twice, like this. And at 7 minutes, 20 seconds time, I will hit on the table non-stop. For replay speaker, which will get 4 minutes, I will remind that 30 seconds after start talking, I will hit the table 1. And 30 seconds before the time is up, I will hit the table twice. And non-stop at 4 minutes. Okay, now I will do the coin toss. For the index team, you choose tail, and the evidence team will be the head. Okay. So the head will be the government team. The head will be the government team. So it means the evidence. So it means the evidence team will be the government team, and the index team will be the opposite team. Fail. Fail the position. Yeah. Okay. Now let us invite our educator to announce the results.
Okay, so without further ado, the motion for today is this House believes that employees should not be contacted regarding work outside office hours.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Angie, for announcing the motion. Next, we will be having a case building for 15 minutes. For the opposite team, please have your discussion outside. Thank you.
Yan, tahu ada mabuk. Pucet kan dia tuh mungkin makan tidur. Tapi yang Tuhan sih support sih. Kan aku lihat beberapa manajer kan ada yang bapak lu tuh yang nggak bisa. Jangan kan support, memang bisa.
the Prime Minister of the government team. Prime Minister delivery.
Di bawah.
Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well today. And then, we will start our debate motion today. Started from us, from the government team. So the first thing I would like to send our gratitude to our opponent and then our adjudicators and also the audience here. And also, I want to introduce my team. So, I am Amy as the Prime Minister of the government team, and then we have Oktia Wepi Anugrah as the Deputy Prime Minister, and also Gilang as the government whip. Okay, let's start this debate motion. Okay, we should move into the motion. This House should believe that employees should not be contacted regarding work outside the working hours. Okay, so it is the obvious statement because we have some reasons why we should not be contacted after working hours. So I would move to the definition. So this situation is called call working. Call working is any period which the workers is working at his duties or his jobs like that. So it may be contacted by his or her boss to do some activities. Occasionally we have maybe in our common situation we have some orders, we have some urgencies to be answered like that. But it is totally prohibited. Because of the health risks that may threaten the employees itself. And then it is also regarding to the boundaries between the work and the life balance, like that. Okay, the first thing is I would like to give an example why we should reject the situation because in the developed countries we may find some rules or some policy that totally prohibited working outside the working hours, like in France. Okay, it has been 5 years in 2017 that France prohibited any emails, any phone calls after the working hours. And then also in the Ireland, we also find the prohibition to answer the call by adding some footnotes on the emails. So it is not required to answer mails or phone call outside the working hours. It is stated on the footnotes. Okay, from the situation, why should their countries prohibited the workers to work? The first reason is respecting boundaries. Okay, respecting boundaries here. So we have 24 hours a day, and then our United Nation it is under ILO. It stated the standard working hours in normal days is about 8 hours. So after 8 hours, it should be paid as the overtime, and it is agreed by the company and the employees also. But the situation here, how if we are going home and then we still receive any calls or any mails? I think it should be regulated also. And then work-life balance. Work-life balance here, 8 hours of working is enough because human has some dissemination due to the situation. Okay. After 8 hours, human can be stressful. He feels anxiety and also have to take a break, gathering with the family, gathering with the friends, and also take a me time. take a me time also to reduce the stress from life, from work life. Okay, why it should be? Because if we have additional working hours, it may lead to the stressful situation, and in the long term, it may lead to the burnout situation. Burnout situation here means the workers can lose his concentration. The workers will be stressful. It is an effect of the working after the working hours, and then it is more dangerous for employees because in one study in from I refer to the BBC.co.uk. So now we have 62% employees in the UK. It is working after working hours, and 31.5% of the workers has additional 5 hours a week outside the working hours, and it takes a serious concern on their mental health. So from a study from Germany, also based on the 590 respondents, showed it has a linear correlation, positive correlation between the stress level and then excessive working hours. And the second reason is about the health. It can also affect the health because we are exposed to the devices to reply to email, and and the most often one is we have phone calls here. So we will stay for we should use audio device and also a visual device that can affect the eyes health and also the auditory health, like that. Okay, from the reasons above, this house should believe that employees should not be contacted regarding to working outside the working hours. Thank you.
You. The time is done. The Prime Minister has spent 7 minutes 13 seconds. Okay, for the next, please welcome the Leader of Opposition. Time is yours.
Di bawah, di bawah.
Test. Test.
Test.
Test. Test. Okay, honorable judges and audiences, this is the leader of opposition, and we're standing against the government that brings the motion. The House believes that employees should be contacted outside of working hours. So we believe that employees should not should be contacted outside of working hours if necessary. And first to review the Prime Minister's argument, which they mentioned mainly about work-life balance and how being contacted outside working hours can affect the mental health or a mental problem of their employees. So first of all, I'd like to clarify something that we are talking about a concept here. That so what the Prime Minister is mainly talking about, from what I can get, is would be valid if we're talking about overtime. So the biggest difference is that if we're talking about measly only contact, it is only being contacted, for example, to inquire us about a small decision making or urgent matter that we need to discuss at the present time urgently. But the argument that the Prime Minister brings is mainly about additional working hours or additional working time and how it can affect the mental health. So from what I see, only being measly contact for a few minutes, only to make a small decision and mentioning an urgent matter would not add a big increase to working hours. So I think that the argument that the Prime Minister brings could be valid if we're talking about overtime, but that is not the case here. That is not the case here. And if let's just say that we continue with that argument, it is a problem that can be addressed easily by having employees to establish a clear guidelines or a sort of contract or agreement between the employees and the employers. So, for example, employers could agree that they specify what they should be available to be contacted on what kind of outside of working hours, and how long they will be contacted, and how they prefer to be contacted, and what kind of matters that that they can be contacted for if outside working hours. For example, only for urgent matter or a small decision making that won't take a lot of time, won't take a lot of the employee's time. So this can help to ensure that employees are able to maintain a healthy work-life balance, like the Prime Minister has explained before. So I'd like to bring some arguments on why should not be contacted at all, which is the motion that the government brings. Is I think it's a ridiculous statement. So why is that the case? Because in some cases, being available outside of the regular business hours can be necessary for a smooth operation of a company. So, for example, if a company is running on a global scale, and of course, if they're running in a global scale, they'll have clients with the different time zones and etc. So it may be necessary for some employee to be contacted during a time where traffic is very busy, and the company will need an extra manpower or something similar. And another example is that a situation where a company is continuously running production. So it may be beneficial to have an employee who can be contacted outside working hours. Like I said before, to solve an urgent matter or a small decision-making problem that would need to be addressed quickly. So another example is that this one is a very vital one because in the medical field, the thing that employees should be able to be contacted outside working hours is a very normal thing, and it is also already specified in a form of agreement or guidelines or contract or something similar. So the motion that the government brings that employees should not be contacted at all, I think it's a ridiculous statement, and it should not be given. So it cannot be avoided in some case. So hence why it should not be contacted outside of your hours is just impossible for especially for certain field of company. So it just needs to be underlined that it's important for organizations to carefully specify the guidelines in the contract in order to maintain the employees' work-life balance and to maintain a healthy time for their employees to still work productively. And that's all the arguments from me. The next argument will be presented by the deputy leader of opposition, which will explain more about the examples on why employees should be able to be contacted outside working hours. So that's all the argument for me. Thank you.
Thank you for the leader of opposition. The leader of opposition has spent 6 minutes 49 seconds. Okay, for the next, please welcome the Deputy Prime Minister.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Okti. I'm the second speaker of the government team. First, I would like to review the statement from the first speaker of the opposition team about employee call because of the urgent calls and matters and decisions. The reality is when employee is called for the urgent decisions, uh, it's usually hard to make decision at the moment. We give example, just like maybe we have like customer in other country and the manager or maybe the officer is called. The customer is here offering us some quotation or offer. Should we accept it or decline it? But it's hard to make decision based on a short call. We need to like prepare from some other data and details and the margin or the loss to decide the outcome of the decision. So because it's hard to make that decision, if we accept or decline it at the moment of the call, it can make the employees become anxious of the decision. And that anxious, the feeling of anxious, it will make the employee become higher stress level and it will impact with the health. That's why it's not good for the call outside work hour related to the health. Actually, World Health Organization is already defined burnout as the first item in the international health event. So that's why the burnout and the stress from the calls and decision from the outside work hours indirectly related to the health now. So that's why uh, now we have a campaign. This campaign is to right to disconnect. It's held by the UNIC Global Union Professional and Manager. This campaign is mostly about we fight for the right for the 8 hours of work that we deserve. So that's why indirectly we receive the call outside the work hour it will impact the whole of the employee. So that's why our house believes that employees should not be contacted outside the work hours. That's all my statement. Thank you.
For the Deputy Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister has spent 2 minutes 44 seconds. Okay, for the next, please welcome the Deputy Leader of Opposition. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity that given to me. My name is Dia. I'm the deputy leader from the index team. This time, I would like to give my gratitude to the government team and also the honorable judges and also everyone that coming here today. So basically, that this motion talk about this. Our house still believe that employees should can be contacted outside of working hour. We're talking about that's why first I want to review the second speaker of the government team, talking about making some decision regarding to work that needs some additional data that should be open in the computer, and they should have additional information to do that to have the decision. Here we said again that our team does not didn't say something about big decision making, but we are talking about small decision making and something that more urgent, something like more related to the urgency and related to the emergency or maybe safety of the workplace. So we're not talking about something that should be done within this time outside of working hour and need additional data. It's just that's why our first argument is we should again refer to the contract of the work, and the contract of the work or the worker and the company. I think it's a win-win solution that how the employee can be contacted, what kind of contact that can be declined, and we're not talking about every contact at all, but some of decisions must be taken urgently at the time. For example, if there's fire in the companies, if there's fire on the work site, and then the safety people is contacted, of course they should like pick up just to make sure that he understand the situation. It doesn't mean that the safety people is required to come at that time in the company, but it's just like should just make the statement what should be done and just inform that the people that have been contacted and knows what is the situation currently. That's what we talking about. We say that it may be related to safety for all the other people, so that's why it's ridiculous to say that we cannot be contacted for something like that. And the government is failed to understand the situation about that, but they only talk about every contact is prohibited. And the second argument that we said about is probably about the different time zone. Sometimes we have the global company that have different time zones in outside of our country. So probably some contact like maybe some 5-minute calls that doesn't even need to have any decision, or maybe just like some urgent matter that should be answered directly just at the time. It cannot be avoided in a global company. And of course, based on Forbes data, that 63.4% of the people is answer the call for emergency contact. That's what we are talking. We don't talk about any other contact. If for example, your boss contacts you for something that is less urgent, it's your right to not answer that and answer the next day on the working hours. It's based on the contract. If you have to answer because it's urgent, because you already agreed in your contract with the company, of course you have to answer to that. But if it's not about something that is urgent, you can maybe you can answer the next day, or maybe you just okay, I will give you answer tomorrow or something like that. So it's not about you cannot be contacted at all, but it is back to the contract again. What is can be done, what is cannot be done, and what we said that government is not giving this line clearly. First, that's why we're talking about the contract is the main point of how we can be contacted with our boss or the company that we're working with, because of course the employee and the company have relationship that is employee of course also need the company and company needs the employee. So we cannot say that no, we reject all the calls outside of working hours. We're not talking about every calls, but it's just like urgent calls, emergency calls, something like that. And then of course, in the healthcare field, like doctors, they have agreement, different agreement with the employee because you're not talking about, you're not saying something clearly about what kind of profession can be contacted. For example, if the doctor, something urgent happening in the ICU and it's 3 a.m. in the morning and someone have an accident in the road and then the doctor is not available, what will happen? Of course, it's not be contacted outside of working hours. It's not working with people that don't work 9 to 5 working hours in a day. So please, government, you're not say something clearly about what context are we talking about. So we are globally. We think that this you're talking about global profession. So some of the profession should be contacted outside working hours because maybe it's related to a person's life. That's from our opposite team for this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the Deputy Leader of Opposition. Deputy Leader of Opposition has spent 6 minutes 54 seconds. Okay, for the next, please welcome the government whip.
Okay, good morning all, the honorable educators and also the opposite team. My name is Gilanges, the third speaker from the government speaker. This House believes that employees should not be contacted regarding work outside office hours. Based on my government side state that we supposed to, why we support this motion, because we as a human, we have a limitation during the work in our life, and in the state of the law, we have work in 8 hours and additional overtime. So if we push ourselves also work outside the work hours, it will also affect to our life balance, which is we cannot do work that's 24 hours. We have another agenda. We as the social human, we need to contact to our friends, we talk to our family, and also we should take care of our baby, and we could do our hobbies, or we could do our health exercise to make our life balance. So that's why we talk about why this motion should be supported, and also it's referred to the French law also. Why? What is the background of the French government passed the law to employees should not be contacted regarding work outside office hours because of the percentage of the employee get contact. They usually get the first speaker said that it's just urgent small issue, but the fact is very contrast. And when we talk about the urgent issue, it will cost more than 1 hour, and could be more than that, and could be repeatable for the next day or maybe to the next 2 days. And we talk about the second speaker, 5-minute call, it's okay if we have a different time zone. But I totally disagree to make the urgent call only 5 minutes to have a big decision of the urgent call. No, thank you. Because why? To give the decision, we need more reference, like my second speaker said, and we need other set of view, and we will not talk only 1 hours, it will cost more than 1 hours, which is they said it will help the organization to call outside the work hours. It will become the worst because we could not give the best decision. I give the example when the case is when we get called in our family gathering. So we get urgent call to get a decision, and because the confusion of us giving the decision of the urgent call itself, it will not ruin the decision itself, and it will not be hard. It will be give the worst decision that will affect the organization that the opposite team did not mention. And we talk about we give the mention of the manufacturing. Why we support this motion? And also we talk about the work-life balance and also the health. And also why the France government support this one? Because it's also affect to the health, mental health. As the burnout, we should take serious about the burnout itself because it's have a lot of effect of the burnout. We cannot focusing, we get pessimism, and we could not focus during our work. So the kind of effect of the burnout by calling outside the work hours is very huge effect to our health. Rather than so because of that, we support this motion, and also based on to support this motion based on the survey by the Skynova, 1,000 employee from the 1,000 employee almost get 70% employee get contact by the boss or the managers, and they said they big pressure called by the manager by contacting outside the working hours, like what I said before in the first statement. So the government believe that this house believe that employees should be contacted regarding WhatsApp outside hours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the government whip. The government whip has spent 5 minutes 43 seconds. And the next, please welcome the opposition whip.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nico. I'm a third speaker from the contract. Okay. I would say thank you that this topic is a good topic for us. As we are employees as well, right? So how this topic is, we experience this topic for our daily working. Yeah. So I hope this topic will be fruitful for us. And about the debate topic, I think mostly the government teams talk about the working hours outside the additional working hours outside the work hours. So I would say we have to come back to the title, to the topic. And I remind you to the topic. The topic is contact you. Should not contact you, not give you additional working times. Okay. Let's go back to the laptop. Yeah. So, and if you talk about the employees should not be contacted. Okay. As I remember, we didn't talk about the scope of business, the scope of employee. What kind of employee this depend. Okay. As Sidik mentioned about the medical field, that's and then the global workers. Okay, and then how can we can imagine about the medical field. If we have accidents, and our family or even ourselves get accidents, we have a doctor to sorry. No, wait. I have to finish my argument. Yeah. So the medical needs 24 hours there, right? So please, we 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 drive our thinking our mind one frame, yeah, one frame. So I think if you talk about the radically totally of prohibited to contact you, I would say sometimes I'm a worker, I'm an employee. Even I try to call the employee in the company to make sure. Even me, after working hours, even weekend, Siddiq, our teams mentioned about the continuously production time, like overtime and weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Even sometimes. Not the employee in the company call us, but even us, even the boss call the employee to make sure. Uh, how do you think about that? Even you call the employee to make sure that everything running smoothly, right? So is to talk is prohibited. It's totally wrong to not contact you for after working hours. I think it's not really represent your daily working. It's not represent your employee. You are your employee. And then I would say the mentality about the employee. We have to think that the ownership of the business, right? This is if you work in the company, you should be have the ownership. We have to imagine that this business, this work, this job is our business, my business. I gain money, I earn money from this company. So wait, I have to open your mind. Right? I have to open your mind and to to make us have a big I mean like we cannot go close minded like that. And I can imagine if we have a business, I'll be there 24 hours, right? Even not for 24 hours for the working, but to confirm something. I agree with Siddiq to have a small decision. We didn't mention about big decision. If we have a big decision, we have to go in the meeting, right? To go in meeting with 1, 2, 3, 4 people or more. Not only one people call a big decision. Wait. So we didn't mention a big decision, a big data, a big clarification. It's not our ideas, yeah. So even you know sometimes the confirmation is not only for the big boss. It's not only for the decision maker. It's happen as well to the worker. I mean to the personal shop floor like operator like that. You know, sometimes they need to confirm something. Maybe they forget to put the things somewhere. They forget to fix something. Oh, they need to ask directly. So it's a normal. I mean, it's a normal. But even the moral, yeah, the people, the worker, who call you, that they already know that you are outside working hours, they feel bad. they feel guilty. So they don't ask you for more question, take 1 hour, 2 hours, half an hours. It's not ask you to work, okay? It's not ask you even to collect data, to bring your laptop. Yeah, okay. I think that's the some point that I think is already open our mind. It's good topic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the opposition whip. The opposition whip has spent 7 minutes 28 seconds. And the next, please welcome the reply speaker of the opposition whip.
Okay, thank you. This topic is like something that is fun to be talked between us because we are actually employees in the company. So, I want to talk about this last time just to make sure that the government grasps our idea about the motion that we are believe that employees should be contacted outside hours because the government always say something about work-life balance. That guys, just please, work-life balance is can be achieved if we have good boundaries that we have for ourselves, and the boundaries is already available in your contract. So if you already agreed that the company can contact you about something that is urgent, something that is important that you should know that time of the day outside of working hours. So it's okay because you already agreed to that. It's something that you already signed before you work in the company. So to say that you are not can be contacted at all outside of working hours is something ridiculous because it's not in line with the contract that you signed. So we're talking about small decision, information, something that probably is important. Maybe your boss call you about, hey, tomorrow you should not come because we have COVID outbreak in our office. You should answer to that call, right? You cannot say no to every contact for that matter. So there's some case that you should, of course, answer to the call. And we never, the opposite time, never talk about big decision making. We just talk about some small talks or small decision that maybe we should not delay to answer it. So we shouldn't make something about we cannot be contacted for that matter. And then second is about the working hours. You're always talking about working hours, but you're not talking about what guidelines do you have about the employee that is not work on 9 to 5 jobs like doctors, nurse. Sometimes they have to work outside of the normal hours because there's a life and death situation in their place. But you're not talking about that, so that's why we still believe that some of the profession, some of the employee, it is should be available outside of working hours for call and contact. So we're not close every contact of outside of working hours because I believe that it will not affect your work-life balance because you already agreed to that. You already signed your contract before you enter the company. So that's all. We still strongly believe that employees should be available and should be contacted outside of our working hours for some case. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the reply speaker of the opposition team. The reply speaker of the opposition team has spent 3 minutes 45 seconds. Okay, the next please welcome the Deputy Speaker of the government team.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. So I'm Amy as the replay speaker for government team. So I would like to invite you all, the audience, our opponents, and also our team here to support. So to support to support this debate motion. The first thing is this house should believe that employees should not be contacted regarding work outside the working hours. I think it is clear regarding to work outside the working hours. And why we put some importance on this motion through the government side? It is because now it is massive use of the calls outside the working hours. It is about the WFH situation that we face in recent years. It is the main reason why we have such an enormous level of calls or mails outside the working hours like that. But we should underline or highlight the main points why we should reject the situation is because it has greater correlation due to the burnout and also the mental well-being. This one is what our team underline first. Okay, why we thought it is massive? Because now we have around. So let's take example in the UK. So we have 48%. It is nearly 50% of the workers work outside the working hours, and then we have 31.5% of the workers in the UK works more than 5 hours additional working hours. In additional working hours for a week. I think it is quite much time to do, and it can be correlated to the small decisions. So because it happens on the common or general situations on the current situation, it may lead to the burnout. So what is the hazard of the burnout? So burnout itself may lead to the frustration, and frustration may lead to the exhausted. Exhausted may lead to the lack of focus. So when we talk about the productivity, work itself, we will talk about the productivity. It really decreased the productivity as well. As I stated at the first statement. So based on the research that conducted in Germany, we have linear correlation between the work outside the working hours and also the stress level. Okay, in other stories, we also have research. It is conducted by the Sarah Pressman 2022 from the University of California, Irvine. So the burnout itself has a tremendous effect compared to obesity, compared to the smoking and also drinking. It is responsible or accountable for 70% of lifetime decreasing, compared to obesity, which impact on the 20%. From the smoking, it will short your lifetime by 50%, and also the drinking will shorten your lifetime by 30%. But it can decrease your lifetime by 70%. And I think this house should believe that employees should not be contacted regarding to work outside the working hours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, the Deputy Speaker of the government team. The Deputy Speaker of the government team has spent 4 minutes 12 seconds. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now the debate is over. The judges will have 5 minutes discussion. Please, all of you, to leave this room first. Thank you.